Good morning, guys. Welcome to the data dictionary again. In my previous class, we have learned what is random variable, where is it, what is random variable, and what are its data types. Yes, continuous and discrete. Okay, and we are also learned what is the differences between a sample data and a population data. Okay, after that, we are also discuss the points called descriptive statistics and the inferential statistics. And I also described the basic differences between descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. So today we are going to discuss the part of what comes under descriptive statistics. I just told a small input values, whichever I calculate. That's what I said. Whatever you want to calculate the statistics on the sample data is what called descriptive statistics. But what other that we can calculate? What topics can be covered under descriptive statistics? So we are going to focus on those today. Okay. So let me write the heading. What topics will be covered? Of course, there's no specific things, but yeah, I'm talking about the most important, the discussion that what it is required to our data science. So I'm concentrating on those topics. There are small amount of topics, many more there, but yeah, what is related to data science? Those discussions I'm going to do. Okay, what topics will be covered? Descriptive statistics. All right. Yeah. So here, first one is central tendency. Central tendency. That means there's nothing but location of data. That means whenever if I give any column, any data, random variable, how data is getting centered. I mean to say, most of the data points are falling at which position? That's what central tendency. So most of the data points are falling at which position, location. That is what the mean. Okay. Yes. In this, we are going to discuss mean, median, and mode. So most of the people are not clear when to apply mean, when to apply median, mode. We will discuss of all those things. And the next one is dispersion. Whenever I am working on the random variable, like you open up my previous sample data set case, yeah, this is, I have the information. Hope you're able to recollect. So this is my random variable. So our first observation is what? Yeah, how many columns are there? How many rows are there? And after that, how many columns are continuous data and how many columns are descriptive data? So what apart from this, what else we can calculate? That's what I said. Something statistics related we need to do. Something statistics related, yeah, what we need to do. Yes. So what we can calculate, as I said, descriptive statistics. So whatever we calculate on the sample data, this all comes under what? Descriptive statistics. Okay. So in a given random variable, what you can calculate? That's what. So dispersion is also can be done. So what is dispersion? Indirectly is called spread. That means how your data is get spread. How your data is getting spread from, I mean, where the minimum value is getting started from up to and where the maximum value it gets stopped. So in between this, is that all the values are same? Are we having the different values? If having different values, from what is the range? So these all things can be calculated. That's what they mean. So to identify, to calculate up all those things, we are required to learn some mathematical calculations here, small things. So first one is, you are supposed to understand what is percentiles. After that, what is quartiles? After that, what is IQR? So IQR means interquartile range. Later I will explain in detail interquartile range. If you understand quartiles, you will understand what is IQR. If you understand what is percentile, it is you will go, your understanding of what is quartile. So everything is like interlinked, a chain process. Okay, and after that, what is the range? Most of the people are known about this range, but I'll talk again. What is standard deviation? So most of the people are having a confusion of what is this standard deviation. They have learned in their 10th class, 11th class in mathematics somewhere, but they are not sure what is standard deviation. And similar to the standard deviation, we have something called variance. So what are these things? We will discuss in the dispersion or spread of the data. So on the final one is what? Shape of the data. So what is this shape? So when we are going to construct something called histogram, okay, what is histogram? We'll discuss on those histogram, how the data is getting spread. What is the shape of the data? To identify the shape of the data, yeah, we are going to look out for how much skewness it contains and what are its kurtosis. So why we are required to learn? The question is why we are look out the shape. We will talk again in the next classes. I'll just give a small hint. In my machine learning topics, I will have an assumption. I will have an assumption that my data should follow some shape of the data, some symmetrical shape of the data. So to identify that my random variable is having the symmetrical shape or not, I will look at the skewness. So I'll tell in detail what is skewness and kurtosis exactly in my coming topics. Yeah, today I'm going to focus on the first one, central tendency. What is this central tendency? Right. So, as I say, most of the people are not aware. When do we calculate? I told in my previous class, when I will call as an average, when I will call as mean. Hope you are able to recollect. Average is the thing that we'll do in sample data, and mean is the calculation that we'll do on the population data. But the formula will be same. The way of calculations will be same. Okay? Yeah. So in generally, how you are going to calculate mean? Most of the people are known. Yeah, sum of, if I'm talking about mean, yes, sum of all values divided by total number of values. This is the formula. This is the formula. So I'm not mentioning the definitions of the terminology, okay? Because I don't believe on the definitions. I don't believe on the definitions. If you understand what is its usefulness and what is its importance, the way how you are expressing your terminology, that should become your definition. Clear, guys, what I'm talking? The way how you are expressing your terminology in your own words, that should become a definition. Definition means what? Every author will have their own way of expressing. So why can't you express your thoughts? The way how you are express your understanding, that should make a definition. That's what I believe. So I don't go with the definitions. If you understand what is the terminology and what is its importance, then definitely you are going to create your own definition. That's what I believe. Okay, practically, I'm thinking more about practical. Yes. So sum of all values. So why should I do? So mean is what, I mean, where the data is getting centered. Most of the values are falling at which place. That's what the mean. That's what the mean. If I open, let's say, yes. So my random variable is some xi. I'm calling, or else you can just give us just x. Nothing will be wrong. Okay, and your values, whatever you're going to give, so those will be called as what? X1, x2, x3, small x. These are the positions of my random variable capital X. These are the positions of my random variable capital X. But what values to be given in these positions, that depends upon what column that you are choosing. Let's imagine if I choose a column of age. So these are my age is my random variable name, and these are the positions: small x1, small x2, small x3, small x4, small x5, like that, small x10. But what values inside of that age? Yes, original values are this one. Original values are this one. Hope you are understanding what the pattern I am following out. Okay. And here, let's say I have the values as, let's say 1, 2, 3. So these are the values. These are the values of some respective data. So how we are going to calculate? So as I said, sum of all values. So if you go back here, my example, according to this example, the formula will be, yeah, sum of all values. So how we are going to write? You can write anyways. If I take, yeah, in generally terminology, I'm talking about summation. Sum of all values is mentioned as summation of xi, because divided by, I'm sorry, yeah, divided by total number of values. This is what I'm trying to write. This is what sum of all values. Why I mentioned as xi, where I is equal to 1, 2, 3. This one, here I is equal to 1, 2, 3. Sum of values of xi. So this is our formula. Okay. So this is what generally average formula. Okay. Let's put your values there. So what will be your answer? Let's see. 1 plus 2 plus 3. And here you divide by 3. So 1 plus 2, 3. 3 plus 3, 6. 6 divided by 3 gives what? So 2 is the average. That means if I try to make you show visually, how does this looks? Let's imagine. So these are my data points. These are my data points. So your values, what your actual value is? 1, 2, 3. So first one, minimum, always. So depends upon the minimum value, it will start. So the minimum value here is 1, and somewhere at the we have 2, and somewhere at the we have 3. So our average is telling was, our central tendency is telling is what? Center data point is 2. Center data point is 2. Hence, yeah, your average, your mean is what? Yeah, 2 is the mean. That means it is a center. This value is a center amongst all the data points. The value what you calculated is the center amongst all the data points. Amongst all the data points. So if you do the same process on this specific variable, so what could be our average? Let's do it. So here the same formula will be taking by your Excel average of all this rows. Somewhere, yeah, that means 31.7. 31.7. That means if I distribute these data points on a particular line like this, so what could be the answer? Like, yeah, if I again, just like how I made for 1, 2, 3, you can imagine. So your minimum value is what here? Yeah, what is the minimum value here? Let's look out. Yeah, we have 22 is the minimum and 45 is the maximum. That means, yeah, your data points will be started 22 and 45. I guess 45 or 44. Yeah, 45. 45. And what is the average? 31.7. That means the centered position is somewhere at the here. I want to see the value. If I distribute 22, 23, 24, 25, 25, like till 45, it will be there. But somewhere, I don't know what is the centered from the mean, from the maximum. I want to have the centered value. So we will calculate what called 31.3, which is called mean. Hope you're understanding the things. What is exactly the mean is meaning talking about? Average or mean? So in generally, when you will speak this kind of language in your daily routine life, for example, your friend have purchased a new bike. Okay, so definitely he could be used for 10-15 days. So later 15 days, now you will be asked, you are also ready to purchase the same kind of bike. Now you are trying to understand how much of mileage it is providing by your bike, by your friend's bike. So you want to get that information. So what you are going to ask a friend? So how was the maintenance? How much of cost? The different question will be asked. Most of the people will ask, yeah, how was the mileage giving? Now he will say, yeah, on an average, I may get 20 or 30, depends upon his performance. So why he's mentioned as 30 or 20? 30, let's say 30. Because every day is not getting 30, but always there is a fluctuation is happening. But on an average, I will get the 30. That means sometimes I may get 31, 32, sometimes I may get 28, 29 also. But on an average. So in those language, we will use the mean. On an average, you will get. So there will be chances that your values will be lesser from the center, higher from the center. But most of the cases, most of the data points, that's what most of the data points is around 31 to around 31.3. If you look out here, yeah, from the center, some of the values are less than 31, some of the values are greater than 31. That's what the mean position. Okay, so this is mean. Then what is median? So median is also similar to this. Median is also similar to this. Like you need to sort to the data first. Sort to the data first in ascending order. Let's put like this. Sort the data first in ascending order. Okay. Yeah. If your n is your number of samples that you are taking. If n is even, okay, that means n is 2, 4, 6, 8 kind of thing. Okay, so you are going to take midpoint of between values, centered values. So whichever the values which are coming at the center position, you are going to take those two values. Let's imagine 4, n is equal to 4. So that means you have 4 different values. You have 4 different values like this. So 22, 25, 26, 35. So this is in normally, yeah, it is in already sorted ascending order is 22, 25, 26, 35. So the middle two values, that means which values are middle here? 25 and 26. So midpoint, that means 25 plus 26 by 2 is called midpoint. That's what I mentioned. If you are going to take the midpoint of, yeah, middle values. Let's write like this, middle values. This is correct, middle values. Okay, otherwise, now the question is, if your n is odd, then which value you will take? Obviously, one middle value will be there. Obviously, if you have, let's say, n is 5 values. N is 5, that means 22 to 45. So the middle value will be what? 26. After sorting, okay? After sorting, the middle value will be what? 26. So if your n is odd, yeah, your middle value will be called as median. So depends upon the scenario to scenario, we are prioritizing mean or median. So in which scenarios we'll prioritize median, in which scenarios we'll prioritize mean, we'll discuss in the coming classes, not now. Okay, so you might be get questions. So when mean is doing centered value things, so why we are choosing median? That's what I'm going to tell this difference. I just told you how to calculate the median, but there is a depends upon the scenario to scenario. We will prioritize median also sometimes rather than mean. What those scenario will talk later in my next class, further classes. Please wait for some time. And yeah, and the first one is what? Mode. So before going to the mode understand, now we are talking about this mean and median on these cases. Mean and median on these cases. Numerical data, continuous data. But can we calculate mean for gender? Is it possible to calculate a discrete data? It means, can you calculate? Yeah. Can we calculate the mean or median for discrete data? That's the question. We cannot calculate. Hence, no. The answer is strictly no. Because mean or median to be calculated, if you want to calculate mean or median, the data should be in the numerical form. Then only it will work. Otherwise, it won't work. Then how to calculate the centered thing in discrete variable kind of data? In such cases, we will use what called mode. Okay, mode. How to calculate mode? Frequently repeated values. Frequently repeated values. That means most of the values are repeated with what? Frequently repeated values. That is what definition. Simple, sweet and simple. Frequently repeated values. So which specific values or whatever, how you take? I mentioned as values, frequently repeated values or frequently repeated, or that's right, string. If you are understanding the computer language, yeah, I'll call as string. So which one is highly repeated? Look, let's calculate. Male. Let's take an example before going this one. Example. Yes. So for the same gender, or else, yeah, better gender will be the easiest answer. Gender is the easiest to understand as a beginner. So gender is my variable name. Now male, female, male, 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 and female. So these are the information I have. So how many we have here totally? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people's information is there. But male is highly repeated. Male is highly repeated. So I will tell like I will tell you here. Yeah, what I am going to tell. Yeah. So since I cannot calculate mean median, all right, on this kind of data. So I will choose so mode will help me to identify the mostly frequently repeated. So male is the highest times repeated. That means if someone asks me, okay, which gender are the highest people, because I cannot say what is the average gender. The question itself makes wrong, first of all, right? If someone asks what is the average gender, so the question itself makes wrong. So what the people will say, most of the people of your students is male or female. So my answer is now male, because mostly highly repeated is male. So I am telling that, yeah, mostly highly people are male. So it does not mean that female is not there. Female is there, but less strength. Mostly people repeated as male. Clear, guys? So hope you are understanding about the calculations of mean, median, and mode in Central tendency, the location of the data. Yes, this is going to help us. Yeah, where my data is lying. Where my data is lying. Where is my data? Most of the data is surrounding it what values. Most of the data is surrounding it what values. So in this case, surrounding it 31.7. Surrounding it some other thing on height. Surrounding it males, if it is gender. Of course, here it is balanced, I think. 1 male, 2 male, 3 male, 4 male, 5 male. Yeah. So it is a balanced given. So if your data, yeah, let me write those one. If your discrete data contains same frequency, right? Same frequency, then I will call as bimode. That means your answers are here, both male comma female. In such cases. So because both are balanced, both are equally balanced, there is not, I can't say one is higher and one is lower. Both are balanced. So I will call as bimode. There could be some such there could be some similar kind of situations also can be happening. Nothing to worry. You have many ways to solve these problems. Okay. Yes. So hope you are understanding my session and clear till what is this central tendency. So in the coming sessions, I'm talking about what is dispersion, spirit, and all those rest of the topics. Hope you like this session. Please like it and subscribe it if anyone is not, and ask your friends to subscribe and follow these videos, because it's the experience which I'm teaching here, my experience, my way of expressing, my way of understanding. The people is following. So hope, please subscribe it and ask your friends to subscribe so that I can get a more encouragement to explain in better of the better way, best way. All right, guys. So let's meet up in another topic. Okay, thank you.